Hi kings and queens, welcome to my channel. My name is Natalie. In today's episode, I will show you why I took this sell on Bitcoin that I do have on Bybit. We're almost touching my take profit now, so just in a couple of minutes, I think the take profit will be taken. I will go through deeply from the weekly chart to the lower time frames and see where we potentially can see other lower highs being created because the market is in a downtrend. I will also show you why it's really important that we let the market drop back down to potentially 2,890, and from that level we just might see the bounce to the upside for us to be able to find another lower high to sell the market. Don't forget that I'm no financial advisor. You need to look up everything yourself first, but please continue looking at this video and I'll show you why I took the trade on Bitcoin, and I will break everything down on Bitcoin and Ethereum. We're starting off with looking at my Bybit trade that I was in, that got activated yesterday. It got activated around 43,190. You can see how perfectly the market came to exactly that level. I was in a little bit of a drawdown, but then you saw the market having the bounce to the downside. I moved my stop loss to slightly below the entry, and we did almost touch my take profit, but I do expect the market to pull back down a little bit. We just might see a little pullback to the upside. We will go through that soon, but almost taking my take profit. So this was an amazing trade. The entry was perfect and we are reaching the target. So really good trade. Don't forget that you can receive a bonus on Bybit up to $4,100 by using the link in the description down below the video. Bybit is super good because you can hold your positions for a longer time with very low and or zero fees, and you're always supporting Bitcoinsensus by doing this. So claim the best bonus available in the link in the description down below the video. We're just going directly to the weekly chart just to see what actually happened. So we're dragging a fib from the last high that we did have around 50,797 if you want to be precisely, to the low at 36,285. Something that I also was looking at, because we did break the Fibonacci levels, but we came back up, and I was looking at this previous low also around 46,844. The weekly we did close with an evening star. I did show you yesterday. I can show you again exactly how it looks. So an evening star does look like this. You got three candlesticks combined together, and after that you usually have the push to the downside. You can have this on every type of time frame obviously, but if you do have it on the weekly charts, it is pretty strong. We just might come back down to potentially 32,972, but we need to break this support that we do have around 37,700. So I mean, we can definitely see market coming back here again, but as I told you, we need to break this support. But to understand what happened, we're going to the lower time frames again. So something that we did have in mind now was that we did have this support that we also came back up and retested, and this was pretty perfect because we tried to break this level. You saw the market closing below the support again, and you saw the retest from below, and we also closed with an inverted hammer, this candlestick right here. You saw the retest one more time, but we did close below, and then you saw the huge drop to the downside. But now to see what actually happened yesterday. So we're dragging the Fibonacci one more time now because this was what happened during the weekend. So now what we were looking at the overall picture, we saw the market being in a downtrend. So what I also did was that I took a fib from 43,755 to the low at 42,218, and you can see how the market perfectly came into the Fibonacci levels. And if we're going even to the lower time frames, we can go to the 15-minute chart. This was something that also was something that I was looking at. We saw this last high low got broken. But I did have a sell limit order since I think it was Friday on the trade that I did have on Bybit or have on Bybit. So I did have a sell limit order. I'm just going through briefly what actually happened. So we saw the bounce to the downside, market came back up and retested the support. Combined with the Fibonacci level, you had the drop to the downside. Target 1, target 2, target 3 just got hit. So the third target was the target that I did have or do have on Bybit. If you're just zooming out to see what level we are retesting at the moment, what I did was that I took a supply candle, but I just took it from the body to the wick, because usually what I do is that I take it from the body to the end of the wick, but I think that is too big of a box. I don't want to have that. So I'm going to use the last target, because usually from the last target you just might see a bounce to the upside again. But I'm looking at 40,520. And you can see how perfect the market came back and retested this level, because this is a demand zone, and that means that when we do come to this zone, we usually have a bounce either to the downside or to the upside, but you can see the market is reacting to it. I also did have a demand zone right here, and the high was 42,363. If you're going to the lower time frames, you can see that the market also came back down and retested that level, bounced to the downside. So yeah, that we did have a huge drop. Market took all of the 3 targets, which is really good. But what we want to see at the moment is obviously see the market pull back up again, because we can still see the market in a downtrend. So in a downtrend, we're obviously selling, but from what level? We can just take another fib one more time. Just might see a pullback up to, and that's what we try to figure out what type of level we can come to. Either we just might see the market on the lower time frame having small pullbacks. So we just might see if we're taking in fib from 41,600 to the low at 40,565. We just might see the market pull back up to potentially 41,100 or 41,200, and from that level you see the market continuing even more to the downside. Or if we go to the higher time frames and we just might have to drag the Fibonacci up a little bit to the last lower high that we did have around 42,320 to the low, and we just might see the market push up to potentially 41,430 or 41,644. So we just might come back up and retest another demand zone that we did have and created as a new resistance, and then see the bounce to the downside, because we need to follow market structure, and market structure is to the downside. So what we're looking for is obviously where we can have another lower high being created, and after that we are selling the market. Looking at Ethereum, you can already see that I do have my drawings on. What we did look at was the previous higher low that we did break around 3,280. You saw the market retesting this level perfectly. You could also use the lower time frames as I showed you. I think it was on one of the live streams that we did wait for the market to create a lower low and then create a lower high, then bounce to the downside. Everything depends kind of on what type of time frame you're looking at, because you could see more clear on the 5-minute chart the pullback. So the market created a lower low, take a fib from the last high at 3,292 to the low at 3,279. You can see the market came back up and retested the 1561%, and then the market did continue to the downside. So everything, I mean, everything comes with practice, guys. Everything comes with practice. When you realize how the market is moving, you'll see what's actually going on. Sometimes it can be hard, but if it is hard, just take a minute or two to go away from the computer and then just go in again, because maybe you don't have the setups. And just like on Ethereum, I don't have a setup at the moment, because you can see the market just dropping, and you see target 1 got hit at 3,080, target 2 is around 2,890. You can also see that is also a previous level where the market has been reversing from a lot of times before. So we can just try to see exactly where this is. So yeah, around this zone that we do have, you've seen the market either breaking up to the downside from it or having huge momentum. So you just might see the market coming back down now to 2,890, and then you just might see the pullback. So we're looking for the market to create a lower high, but I don't have anything at the moment because we still have the drop. we just might see the pullback on the lower time frames, because you can see the market is doing small pullbacks every time. Small pullback. So I mean, if you're not a scalper, I wouldn't suggest for you to go into it. We would just wait for the market to come back to create a support, right? So because we need the market to create a support before we can actually put the Fibonacci. Now we're just falling, so it doesn't matter where I put the Fibonacci at the moment, because we need to have the market slowing down to a respected level, and at that point I can take the fib from the last high to the next low that we do have, and that will give me targets to where potentially the lower high can be. But overall on Ethereum, we're still in the market is still dropping, and the market did do kind of what I did expect it to do. I thought the market would have a little bit more to push to the upside, but by using these previous support and resistance zone Fibonacci levels, you saw the break off structure, we could see that the market was on its way down, and still is. Thank you so much, guys, for looking at this video together with me. I hope you did enjoy it. Comment below if you did like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification so you know when I am live the next time, because I will have a live stream in a couple of hours from now. Otherwise than that, I hope you'll have a great day.